Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I still have a little bit of a sick sound in my voice, but I hope you guys are all having a good week. I woke up today in kind of the weirdest mood. And I don't know if anyone else is out there feeling it. It's been going on for a couple of days for me. So I'm just going to tell you guys, and maybe you guys are going through it too. I don't know, maybe it's something that's going around for everyone right now. But for probably, I don't know, several days in a row now, I've been experiencing some feelings of kind of like a mini life review almost, right? Like you're looking back and you're thinking about, you know, all the different things that have led you to where you're at right now, and how you would do things differently, or areas that I know that like there is no such thing as regret, in the sense of the things that have happened to you for a reason, to teach you valuable and important lessons. But we keep having to learn those lessons if we don't learn the lessons. And so regret can be more of a, why do I keep making the same kind of mistake over and over again? It makes you start to feel like time is wasted. And I don't know why, but I felt like it was important to talk to you guys about this, because we're all on this journey of self-growth and discovery. And it's, a journey of self-realization, which takes you into self-actualization. Self-realization is knowing who you are, knowing why you function the way you function, what it is that you really truly want and desire, aligning with that. Self-realization or self-actualization is when you're aligned with that, and then you know yourself so well that nothing can really stop you from reaching your bullseye. You self-actualize, you bring into this world what it is that you wanted, what you came here to do. And this life is so full of distractions, you guys. It's just so full of them. But that doesn't mean that they're irrelevant, okay? Life gives us what we need in order to get us to what we want. And I just wanted to share somehow, I'm not even exactly sure how to verbalize it with you guys. I wanted to share that this life is short. You are a divine being and you are eternal. But every moment, it comes and it goes, and it comes and it goes, right? It's the now, over and over and over again. We are in the eternal now. But it is a changing kaleidoscope. And if we're not present and appreciating the moment that we're in, it's gone. And once a moment is gone, it's gone, right? Like 30 seconds ago, it's gone. Me just saying that, it's gone. And some moments seem far more important and powerful than others, but it's an accumulation. It's the journey itself that is so important and incredible and valuable. And we have these amazing treasures in our life right now, every single one of us, that we're taking for granted, that we're not paying attention to. We have all this treasure over here, and this one annoying thing is what we're putting all of our focus on, while we ignore all this treasure over here. And we say our life is miserable and our life is upsetting. Or maybe it's 2 or 3 things that are making us miserable and upset. But we're so focused on them that we are forgetting all of the abundance that's around us all the time. Our children, our memories, our experiences that we could, if we stopped focusing on this, go over and experience over here. The job, the family, the friends, the restaurants, the movies, there's so many things, you guys, that especially when you're in the dark night of the soul. And you guys, it's such a necessary part of the process to go through the dark night of the soul. But it really shows us that we can be filled with this most beautiful scenery of life. And if we're focused on one thing negative, we can be in a state of hell while we're surrounded and ignoring heaven. I know this happens a lot, especially when we're in the dark night of the soul, because we're so focused on our twin flame and what they're doing and why they're not with us. And we hone in on them and we zero in on them as if they're the only thing that truly matters and that they're our only source for love and joy and happiness. But it's not true, because the love that you seek and the joy that you experience is something that's found and contained within you. And if you're so focused on something that you perceive as wrong, which is it really wrong, or is it just a perception? Are things really not going the way that they're supposed to, or is it just a perception? And we're so focused on that perception, that negative perception, that we stop enjoying all of the beauty and the abundance that's around us. So I would urge every single one of you guys today, no matter what state of mind you've been in for a long period of time, and no matter how difficult it is, to get out of the obsessive thinking and to focus for just a minute, but get into the present moment if you can. In that now moment, right this moment. And just start thinking about all of the things that you're currently surrounded by that you're grateful for. And when your mind tries to go back to that one thing, take your mind off of it and start remembering all that you have to be grateful for. It's going to change things for you. Okay? All right, let's get into this reading. This first card is for your DM. What's going on with your DM, Divine Feminine? Six of Wands in reverse. It looks like after experiencing some difficult moments, some hard realizations, your Divine Masculine is feeling like they need some space. They feel like they've maybe been humbled a little bit. They've lost some confidence. They're not feeling like they're their best self right now. And some hard truths have been shown to them. And as a result, they're kind of just feeling like they just need to go be alone and spend some time in self-reflection and feel like they've got to, kind of make the connections and put the pieces of the puzzle of their life back together. And so there's a little bit of a feeling of kind of feeling forlorn. It's not always easy to go through that moment of, man, I might have screwed some things up, and I've got to figure out how I'm going to fix this, or why do I keep making these same mistakes over and over again? We need moments of isolation. Sometimes we choose it, and other times the universe just grants it to us. It's almost like a temporary timeout, like you need some space. It can come in forms of, no one's around to hang out with you for a little while, or you get sick and you have to take some time home from work and away from family and friends. It can come with depression. It can come in many different forms, but sometimes we have to go through periods of time where we just retreat and go within. And it looks like your Divine Masculine is going through a period of time like that right now. And it could be the 3D reasons for that could be a lot of different things, but the spiritual reason behind it is self-reflection and a time to reroute, a time to put things into a proper perspective, and to it's a period of growth, really. So for you, Divine Feminine, we have the Death card. Now, this isn't a bad thing, okay? This card stands for big changes, you know, maybe an ending of something. It's time to move on. It's a rebirth. It's a transformation. This card stands for transformation. And in any transformation, something is always shed. Something is always let go of in order for something new to come in. In the case of a butterfly, the caterpillar carcass needs to be let go of so that the caterpillar can go into the cocoon and then emerge as a beautiful butterfly. For a snake, they lose their skin and they get a new skin. Sometimes for us humans, it can be that old friendships or old relationships have to be let go of. Maybe an old job. Maybe we have to move to a different home. A new phase of life is beginning. And so, like my youngest little daughter says, Mom, there's no such thing as endings because every ending is a beginning. And this sweet little 8-year-old girl said that to me with such conviction about a year ago. And she's right, I'm not sure who she learned that from. Excuse me. But she's right. And so for you, Divine Feminine, it doesn't surprise me at all that this card came up for you, because that is exactly the journey that you've been on, is a journey of transformation, of, rebirth, renewal, self-realization, leading you to self-actualization. Okay? This journey is about you. There was a comment on one of my videos recently by a sweet and beautiful girl that said that she felt like, she hoped that her DM moved on, or that her DM would wake up soon, because she felt like giving up and moving on. And I want you guys to know, and this is kind of a message to her if she sees this journey is about you. It is about moving on, but it's not about moving on from them per se. It's about moving on from the idea and the image that they are the source of your happiness. It's about letting go of the perceptions and the old paradigms and perspectives that really essentially cause the twin flame to run, but it's not your fault that they run. It's part of the transformational process to help you realize that this isn't where love comes from. Love comes from within your heart. It is self-generated, created, and experienced by you. And the only person that ever cuts you off from experiencing that love is your own ego and your mind telling you that you don't deserve it because this person's not showing up a certain way. Or if this person doesn't act a certain way, then you can't have it. That is all egoic perspective and perception. You are the love that you seek. So it's moving on from old paradigms. You should move on from your twin flame. But it's not that you can't move on in the sense that and this is where the mind gets all screwed up, and this is part of the awakening process. You're not moving on from them because they are a part of you. My left hand can't go anywhere without my right hand, right? They might be performing 2 different tasks, right? Doing 2 different things. Maybe they're not even in each other's visual sight, right? But they're still part of the same body. You and your twin flame are part of the same unit. You actually cannot be separate from them. You might be doing different tasks. You might be having a different experience, but you're not separate from them. So you can't lose them. That's all a perspective of the ego. So you can't actually move on from them because they are you. They are part of you. It's moving on from the idea that happiness can only be attained when life shows up a specific or a particular way. It's recognizing the abundance that you're constantly surrounded by and allowing yourself to open the floodgates of love and just be in it all the time. That's samadhi. That's nirvana. That's you, divine feminine. And so my message to this girl and anyone else out there that feels this way, because this girl, I don't remember her name. She'll know who I'm talking about. She is every single one of us on this journey. There's not one of us that hasn't felt the way that she stated in that comment. Not one of us. And the freedom and the joy that comes from the shift in the mindset of knowing that you are not bound by anything. So yeah, move on. Move on from the old paradigm. Move on from the old mindset. Recognize that love and joy and peace and happiness and freedom and your divinity are already yours. And you collapse the duality within yourself, and then there's no duality between you and your divine masculine. And that is a deep concept that we go into much more in depth when we get into the group calls and go through some of these lessons. It's not an easy concept to completely understand right away, but your journey is all about transformation. It's all about moving on from the twin flame and letting it go. Because the idea of what you have of your twin flame, especially in the early stages, is an illusion created by the paradigms of the ego and the programming of the ego. And the purpose of them running is to wake you up so that you can shed the ego. And it is an extraordinarily painful process. All transformations on some level can include a period of pain. But that's okay. That's okay. It just gets our attention. All right, so this card right now, this next card, is the relationship between the two of you. Okay? And for this, we have 9 of Cups. Wishes come true, material abundance, and good health. This is the card that is eternally binding you. Okay? This represents that bond that can't be broken, regardless of whether you guys are both even alive or not. Because this is a divine connection that transcends the material world of form. It's on the spiritual plane. It's not, of course it manifests on the physical and on the mental, but the bond that you guys have is on the spiritual plane, which means it transcends the finite and it is part of the infinite. So there is no right or wrong. You can't mess this up, you guys. Your mind will try to tell you, well, it's messed up because of blah, 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 or it's messed up because of blah, 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 or the karmic, or they're not talking to me right now, so of course it's messed up. No. It's transcending those lower mindsets. It's the alchemy of going from the lower vibration, the lead, and going up to the gold, okay? It's this rising of your consciousness. It doesn't happen overnight, you guys, but it's beautiful, so embrace it. Relax into it. Let the mind and the body surrender into the faith and the knowing that the soul and that source and God see around corners that the mind and the body can't, and then you can just ride the wave and let the tide take you where it's meant to, because it's going to take you to this beautiful destination if you allow it to. And that doesn't mean that there won't be some rough waters, but those rough waters are just going to propel you forward faster. They're there for a purpose, okay? So you just lay into it, you ease into it, and let it take you, let it guide you. This journey is about intuition and tapping into the divine. And divine feminine, you are made for this. So trust it. Your answers are already within you. The past, okay? This next card is symbolic of the past between you and your divine masculine. Page of Pentacles. It looks like patience has been difficult, but required. And there has been change, some pretty intense change. And there are parts of you that are, and your divine masculine, that are holding on to parts of the past or are entangled in things that feel extremely important. But the truth is this is what's really, truly important up here. And not by money. That's not what I mean. See, this is reaching up to the heavens. Okay? And this is where the true riches are found. And our tentacles that ground us and root us, you know, beneath the surface. And then we have these other ones like family over here and a job over here and, you know, cultural, you know, expectations and, you know, belief systems. And, you know, there's a lot of tentacles that we have moving out in many different directions energetically that make us feel very rooted and bound. But the truth is this is the only place that true riches are found. And that's this journey within you. And that's what we focus on here at the Conduits, is the journey within, right? Like that's the point of the whole twin flame journey. There is no other purpose to it than that. And if we say this is the purpose, then we stay rooted in confusion and pain, or over here, or over here, or over here, or over here. We have to allow those things to just happen while we focus on the divine and trust. And then everything falls into place. Everything falls into place. So there has been a lot of life stuff that seems like it's gotten in the way with you and your divine masculine. But trust me, it hasn't. It's just all pointing you in the direction of your North Star, which is here. This is where you're supposed to be, you know, pointing and directing your energy. And then everything else falls into place. Otherwise, you feel fragmented. I'm thinking about this, then over here, and then over here, and over here, and over here, and over here. And just, it's like too many tennis balls, right? You get thrown 15,000 tennis balls. You could be the best juggler in the world. You're going to drop some of them. There's no one that can juggle that many. And when you start dropping them, then you're like, oh, I'm a failure. No, you're not. But if you focus on this and let the divine help you, there's nothing that the divine can't do. Nothing that the divine can't do. That's what every superhero knows. Draw on your power. The power comes from within. You are a superhero, divine feminine. This I know. You may not feel like it, but no great superhero ever feels like a superhero. That's part of why we love them so much, is they're so humble. They're just everyday Joes, but yet they're superheroes, right? That's you, divine feminine. All right, this next card is the future. Possible outcomes. We have Queen of Wands. Confidence, stepping into the truth of who you are, knowing who you are, self-actualization, being born of self-realization, the steps being taken. Look at this beautiful raven right here holding the magic wand and handing it to this beautiful lioness. Being crowned in the kingdom. Balanced energy in heaven. Surrounded by abundance and knowing that they hold the key to life. This is your magic wand. You've been holding one for a long time, accidentally conjuring up and creating all kinds of things you didn't really want because you didn't even realize you were holding one. But now as you're stepping into conscious creation, you're going to learn how to wield that wand, and you're going to create the most beautiful life, Divine Feminine. You just got to let go of the weight of the world. Give it over to the divine. Listen to some Neville Goddard. I recommend that. With that card, you got to listen to some Neville Goddard. If you've never listened to Neville Goddard, you must listen to Neville Goddard. The purpose of the Twin Flame journey is to wake you up from your slumber so that you can step into your power as a conscious creator. Okay? That is the purpose of the Twin Flame journey. It is not to be with them, because you already are with them. It's this right here. This right here, Divine Feminine. Early in my journey, I had a raven come to me. In my dark night of the soul, it was one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had. And since then, ravens have been an extraordinary symbol on my journey, as well as ladybugs. And you may have had some animals that have become, guides for you. Don't underestimate that. The universe speaks to us through signs and symbols and synchronicities. Intuition is your greatest asset. Tap into it and trust it. It may not always align with the outside world, but that doesn't matter, because the outside world isn't where you're going to find your answers. They're within you, and your intuition is your guide. That is so freaking awesome. Oh, which oracle deck do we want to use today? I'm gonna go with this one. Oops. I hope this reading was helpful for you guys today. I was kind of going through that weird stuff this morning, and I thought, you know what? I just need to go down, do this reading. I need to take this energy and share it. I'd love to hear in the comments below, you guys, how things have been for you and how you guys are doing on your journey. And my truest and strongest desire in this world is to help every single one of you in any way that I can. So reach out and let us know what we can do. We're all in this together. All right, there's our card. Interesting. Distance. We kind of started out talking about divine masculine needing some distance. I wonder if this is going to have to do with that. Or maybe something else. Let's see. To get the lay of the land, sometimes you need to take a look from a distance. Distance indicates that you would be best served by taking a step back so you can see the big picture. You may be focusing too narrowly on one area. Didn't we talk about that at the beginning? You may be focusing too narrowly on one area while there is a whole world out there to explore. You may need to consider if growth within a situation or relationship is at risk of being stunted due to being overly critical or nitpicky. Are you able to see the potential even if there are a few flaws? Of course, you might find distance appears when you are too focused on one positive aspect of a situation or event while missing all of the negative outcomes that may potentially exist. Distance asks if you are too close to a situation to remain impartial or unbiased. You might benefit from taking a leave of absence or literally putting some distance between you and the situation by taking a trip. Distance is given for a reason on this journey with your twin flame. It is very important that this transformation takes place, and it should be taken reverently, respectfully, and seriously, knowing that it is giving you gifts beyond this world and beyond what your mind could have possibly wanted. When you found your twin flame, you thought, this is my oasis in the desert. And then when the oasis was taken away and you found yourself in the desert again, you thought, how cruel. But what you didn't realize is that what you want, what you seek, was taken from you to make you realize that it was not something to be given to you or to be taken away. It was something that you conjured up and created and put in your desert on your own and can do again. Not necessarily your twin flame, but the abundance of life, the happiness, the joy, the peace that you were seeking and hoping that you thought was going to come from your twin flame. The universe wants you to know exactly where that comes from. And if it allowed you to think that it came from something outside of you, it would be doing you a huge disservice, which is why it had to take it away from you, so that you could discover and realize the true source, the everlasting source, and the truth of that, which is something that comes from inside of you. And that is the greatest gift that the universe could give to you. And the only way that it could give it to you was through distance. I love you guys. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. If you are interested in coaching, I am a certified life coach. I would love to help you on your journey. There's information on how you can do that in the description box below. And I will see you guys soon. Take care. Mwah.